I grew up in New York. I grew up in the projects, had a mother who was on drugs, had a father who was on drugs. So I always wanted to be in a helping profession, more particularly that social work and doing things that I can relate to, that I can empathize with. I'm a clinical social worker. I do one-on-one therapy, and I also work in inpatient facility for crisis intervention for patients who've had suicide, substance abuse, detox, all those things. Nearly on a daily basis, I'm dealing with patients who either recovering from opioid abuse or have family members who are abusing opioids. For the most part, it has led to a lot of suicides, and the trickle-down effect of it is a lot of the patients that I deal with, their friends have OD'd, and they, because of their friends ODing, they're in depression. That's kind of why they're seeing me. They've had suicide attempts, so it's kind of a revolving issue there. And then in my inpatient that I work with, these patients are drug seeking because they've been hooked on the opioids. So it causes them to voluntarily commit themselves just so they can get the meds, so they can get prescribed the meds. And that's the crazy thing about it, because a lot of people think, you know, drugs, there's somebody on the corner, you're getting drugs. No, this stuff comes from, you know, doctors. Doctors are prescribing some of these meds, these opioids that the patients, you know, tend to get hooked on. So it's not that traditional. And yes, I mean, you could be the richest person and you can be the poorest person. So, you know, that demographic, yes, it expands from, you know, trailer park to, you know, people in country club residents. It's not one of those things where you can readily identify it. That's what's so scary about it, because you can't readily just say, hey, I know this person, I know what's going on. No, it could be your 70-year-old grandmother that, you know, is hooked on some of these painkillers. Be involved. I mean, a lot of the parents that I talk to, they're so disconnected with their kids that they don't even know what's going on with them. So I think that's the number one thing, is just be more connected. I think a lot of parents think they need to stay out of their kids' lives, let them do what they want to do. They feel like they're overbearing. But I think the important part is for them to be as involved as they can. They say, man, I'm so happy someone is here to help me out, get me through this. And it could be the smallest nugget that you give them that can take them a long way. So we're definitely making a difference.